Welcome to the Austin LGBT Chamber of Commerce podcast. We're going to talk local business news around the city. Today, we're going to talk about Musk moving to town. Big news for Texas restaurants. And you can issue a traffic citation now? Wait, what? Hang in. Welcome back to the Austin LGBT Chamber of Commerce podcast. I'm Tina Cannon, your host and president CEO of the Chamber. And as always, welcome to Amy and Colton.
Whoa,
Hello.
hello.
Our crowd sounds a little tired
Yeah,
today.
it sounds a little thin.
Yeah, they're a little... There's only like two of them. All right, knock it off, people.
I want a slow clap next time.
Have y'all been since our last podcast? What's been shaking?
Love and life.
Doing the things. Using public transport now.
What?
I know.
How has life been on public transport? And that's tough for you because we're on. I mean, I guess everybody pretty much listens and knows where you live, but like,
I mean, if you don't know by now.
yeah, you're not a good stalker.
It's been great. I have the whole bus to myself, which will probably change because I keep talking about it in town. For those that don't have, the traditional Monday to Friday 9 to 5, if you wanted to do like a little day drinking in Austin, this is the way to do it.
Right?
You got to ride there
There you
and
go.
ride back. It's $6 round trip.
Round trip.
Yes.
That's a good deal. It's better than you're going to get on any toll road.
I pay $8.50
It's air conditioned.
round trip.
Got Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi anymore. But I do have a hotspot, so I don't have to worry about that.
You hear that, lady? She got a hotspot.
And Jesus.
What?
Benny is the route driver, and he's so sweet and knows all the things, and he's been working for Carts forever, and it's just been fun. The second leg has not been as an enjoyable ride, but
The ride back out of Austin.
no,
back
my
home.
second leg once I get into town.
Oh, that's right. You've got to transfer.
Yeah. So, but soon that will be an e-bike trip for me. So
The e-bike.
We're all getting on the e-bike train.
we are. We're look at us and how we're affecting the carbon footprint.
We are. I think it's great. Your people love it.
Oh, thank you.
Both of them.
I'll pay them at the end of the program.
I love my e-bike. I'm glad that you guys are looking into them and checking them out. I think it just for me, it opens up options. It's 95 out, but I don't feel it because you're riding. It's like somebody asked me the other day, they're like, wasn't it hot when you're riding? But I mean, you're riding and you're sweating and you're getting hot. I'm like, stick your hand out your car window when you're going like 20 miles an hour. Does your hand sweat? No, it's got wind.
I am a little concerned about when it turns the other way. I was thinking about
When it gets colder, yeah.
Yeah, I might need to get myself a little gaiter for my
What's that?
like the little neck and face gaiter.
Oh.
Oh, I thought that was just like a robbery kit.
Yeah, that too. It's multifunctional, just in case I get a wild hair.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did I ride when it was cold this last year?
I'll say hit your hands. Like when I had a little cafe bike, which obviously goes a little faster,
Yeah,
but your hands hurt in the cold
they do get. Yeah.
when you got wind on them too. So it's gonna be like,
Well, we got cold a couple times on the scooters.
yeah, I don't think that they go as fast,
Yeah.
but yes, but we were kind of like,
A little
where you-
shiver.
like your elbows are tucked in, and
Yeah.
if you squint your face real hard, maybe you don't get as cold. But yeah.
Just a light jacket. You'll be fine. You can manage.
All you need is a light jacket.
That's it. Oh my God. Well, let's take a look at some local news headlines. Musk, or as we call him here on the show, Elon Muskox, is moving all of his toys to town. He announced Wednesday that he's going to move his headquarters of X, formerly known as Twitter, to Austin over a new gender identity law in California. The law itself questions that school districts in California bars school districts in California from requiring that schools notify parents if their child requests a pronoun change. Musk wrote on his X platform, quote, "This is the final straw. This is the law, and that many others that preceded it are attacking families and companies." Here's what I have to say to Musk. That's a musk ox. That's an ox. But here on this show, that
Oh, wow.
is a musk ox.
You know, I think that is the recording from Alone when you killed the muskox.
What's weird is he picks Austin to move all of his shit to. Austin in the last presidential race. I mean, we're not known for being a liberal city, but in the last presidential race, to give you an idea, 71.7% of the vote went to Dems. So he's moving the boring companies, tunneling his infrastructure, the SpaceX, the weird thing where he sticks something in your brain. I want to meet who volunteers for that shit. But he's moving that and his foundation to Austin. Like, cool, bro. But like, first off, like, be a good corporate neighbor. Right. So he did some hooky juke to get himself out of the ETJ, the extraterritorial jurisdiction, so he could do basically what he wants on his land. And then he laid off like the biggest layoff we've seen in Austin's history ever, and didn't even tell people until like that morning
Just
of.
locked him out.
Yeah.
Didn't file the right paperwork with the Texas Workforce Commission. Has now since backtracked and done it the right way. But like,
And asked a lot of people to come back.
yeah, oops, we
Like,
fired the
oh.
really important people.
Oh, yeah. But if you wouldn't mind. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You know, how many kids does he have now?
A lot, like more than Nick Cannon.
Yeah. Yes. And there's something about like spreading his
He wants to populate the earth with
like
his
fiver.
genius.
Fiver, is that like I forget what it's called, but statistically speaking, he keeps going on and on about what does the traditional family look like.
Right.
And his odds are stacking up against him as he keeps pumping out children.
Yeah, because I'm
Because
sure he's not having them over every weekend.
When I came out 20 odd years ago, it was like 10% of people would identify as queer. And now it's somewhere between like 15 and 20%.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he's
destined.
on child number 12.
Sure.
So statistically speaking, like he's going to have some real surprising shit in his future with his kids.
Yeah.
Because like,
Do they all have weird names?
I don't know. I don't even think he's like a father. I think he puts his seed out there with people, and because he thinks his genius needs to be replicated.
but not his looks. So it's like, ladies, please stop.
Stop replicating with this.
Wow. That
I would rather hear that noise than him speak.
is
Yet you probably do while they're replicating.
quite the sound. Yeah. So he chose Austin, which it doesn't make any sense to
It
me.
makes it zero. I mean, if he's trying to say he's escaping the liberal bastion that is California rules, and he chooses Austin, it's not about liberalism. Otherwise, he'd have chosen Pampa, Texas.
Well, we do know that he is actually like a bright individual academically on the books, right? Because isn't that
Supposedly.
allegedly?
Allegedly.
For argument's sake, let's
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, I don't know
that he's a
I'm
smart
not convinced.
CEO.
Right. So let's just say, for argument's sake, he is relatively educated and
Okay.
attuned to what Texas is.
Okay.
Maybe he has misjudged Texas and what is Austin. Like maybe he doesn't actually get it. Have we heard him say anything to the tune of like, oh, Austin's so liberal, like, rah.
Well, he doesn't really engage
So maybe
in
he
Austin.
thinks he's just living in Texas. And it's
Yeah.
like, do you realize that you're actually in the bluest of blue ponds?
71.7%.
Where else do you find numbers like that? And below the Bible Belt.
I mean, that's, yeah. He picked the most bluest to call home.
The mostest bluest town. We still have that Texas education. Don't worry about us. We're doing fine. But maybe he just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, yeah, yeehaw, Texas. I'm going to go where.
Well, we went to that cyber rodeo and he was coming out on stage and his cowboy hat was backwards.
Yes, I
So-
do. Oh, Lord have mercy. Please help that man.
Wah, wah, right?
And let's
Like-
get him some DeSantis boots to go with it.
right, the little short pants.
Oh, just the ones with the lifts in them where
Yeah.
the toes are curled up so bad that.
Yeah. Well, he's actually a
Some
pretty
little
good
high
sized
heels.
guy.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't. I think it's all pomp. I think he's just making noise to get the tax break. That's really why he's leaving, because Texas is a more friendly tax state to his R&D efforts that he's doing in most of his companies. Whereas, because if he was really moving because of liberalism, he wouldn't have picked here.
You know, it's really telling because the other day he put a poll out that was like, should we go back to calling it Twitter rather than X?
Again,
And
back to your previous
even-
statement. Is he a smart guy? No.
So even his supporters, who most of them are still on X, were like, it was an overwhelming like mid 80%
to go back.
to go like.
Right.
They're like, what is an X? We tweet on Twitter.
Right. It had
We
a
don't
built-in
wanna post-
verb and action with
yeah,
it.
and no comment from him. But then he also said, if you vote for X, I'll give you a follow back.
I don't want to
Like, get out of town. You know what?
Boring. He should focus on that brand.
Oh my! I'm just waiting for the day that he's irrelevant. I'm just. Wow.
In other news, the prestigious Michelin Guide for restaurants is expanding to Texas. According to our friends at the ABJ, Texas restaurants finally have a shot at making it into the Michelin Guide, one of the most coveted restaurant guides in the world. Michelin has entered into a partnership with Travel Texas to create the Michelin Guide to Texas, which will highlight restaurants in Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio. Announcements on July 16th, and the selections are going to be released annually. So pretty exciting for our local restaurateurs.
Yeah, I love it.
This
Is
is
it like
exciting.
the movies where like they don't know who the Michelin reviewer is and they just think every single guy is sitting
You're
in
talking about Ratatouille.
yeah.
I do love Ratatouille.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
Because some of these places are charging Michelin prices, but they need
Truly.
to step it up to get on this
Truly.
list.
I feel like Houston's going to be in the lead on this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Houston's food scene is pretty good.
the food in Houston now like the aesthetic and the attitude out there is a little different than Austin. Like I prefer here with like the art scene, the creative scene,
Yeah.
the overall mentality of folks here. But food in Houston is legit.
And I feel like in Houston
And in
they
Dallas.
kind of get ready for dinner.
Dallas.
Whereas Austin we
Mm-hmm.
just kind of show up to a nice restaurant and whatever we wore that day.
I feel like that's just a sign of the times, which I hate. But yeah, like you would. Oh my god, my mother would be like, "Are you gonna go upstairs and put on some eyeliner? Like you're not going out like that, are you?" I'd be like, "Well, who am I dressing up for, Mom? Like it's just
Yeah.
you and Dad and my sister, but okay."
Yeah, it's good. It's exciting. You know, we've some of the James Beard finalists have made a lot of news. One of our chamber members, James Beard finalists, and so like that is showing right that we've got some talent in this town. We've got,
And we're still small. We're
yeah.
still technically small.
and
Kinda.
yeah, and it's not like giant restaurants. Like when I picture like a Houston restaurant, I picture like a 200 seated,
Yeah, big open space.
yeah, tablecloth, the lighting,
Sure.
the things. And whereas Austin, it's more, right, like smaller, cute, quaint, artistic,
Yeah.
good food.
Right.
Like,
Well, there's
Yeah,
not a
most
lot-
places here are pretty laid back too.
yeah, yeah. Like you
Yeah.
might pay $200 for your sushi dinner, but you were in shorts and tank top while you're there.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe.
I mean, the ones that are a little like, I would say, do I say elevated? Because some of them are just a little uppity. But those patrons I'd be hard pressed to even find like shorts and shirt in their closet because they're already going to be
True.
dripping in Chanel and like dressed for Kentucky Derby as they're going to get a plate of oysters at I don't know, Josephine House or something like that. I don't know that they do oysters. They do a lot of brunch, but
I
still.
guess so. Yeah, I think it's good. A little pressure for our local chefs to take it up a notch. But yeah, I wonder how many single people sitting at a restaurant. I think we should just do that. We should just like all three like walk into a restaurant, sit separately with like a notepad,
I kind of
And
like
a
eating by
recorder.
myself.
take pictures of your
yeah.
food.
The soup of the day is
I don't do that enough anymore. I kind of like that. Like sitting by myself and eating lunch somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no issue doing that.
I used to like
love
bring a
it.
little book.
Yes. Yeah.
I treat myself to Kirby Lane quite frequently.
I used to go sit at Magnolia Cafe when it was over on Lake Austin. Sit at that counter
Oh,
and just
love.
watch the world go in and out.
Love
It's
a
great.
Mags. I haven't been there in years.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to get the Michelin star, but they're certainly going to get the 3 o'clock I'm hungover star.
That should be a thing.
Yeah. It should be a thing.
Best hangover cure restaurant. Go.
Yeah. Mags. Kirby.
Kirby.
There's not too many that are open super late anymore. Guy down the hallway, just for giggles, is like jogging in his office.
Great.
Like he's jogging
Should we do jumping jacks?
in a square.
Yeah, they're running back and forth.
We've got some characters on this floor. You know, it's kind of like everybody's in their own little fish tank at the pet store.
What is happening?
I don't know, but I hope he listens to the show and he's
Maybe
like, oh
he's
my
on
God.
a conference call and he has to pee really bad. And he's like, please wrap it up.
I'm going to be off camera for a minute, Charles.
He's doing the pee-pee dance.
I love it. Residents can volunteer to enforce laws on accessible parking. You can learn more at the Austin Monitor, but through the city's accessible parking enforcement program, volunteers can issue citations and warnings for illegally parked vehicles in designated accessible parking. In partnership with the police department, transportation and public works, they're going to provide training so that residents can raise awareness about accessible parking and help ensure it's available for people who need it most. To be a deputized volunteer, you need a couple of qualifications. You got to be 18 years old, U.S. citizen, pass a background check, possess an ID, complete training, abide by the policies, and volunteer for at least 12 hours a year. You can find out when you can get these training sessions at theaustinmonitor.com.
Amy, have you been living for this moment?
I truly, like, when I am here for this.
She's gonna get a vest.
I think
I know it.
this is it. Oh,
No, I'm just going to get those stickers that's like, you know why, and slap it on their windshield. Like, I love this. I love this. But also, I think the most folks that will probably be deputized to do this are the ones that need it, right? Because those are who are
I
going to
know,
be.
but you need to be, because we need to see you walking down the street and be like, sir, I need to talk to you about your car.
I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm just going to give you a ticket. Like, I don't need to talk to you. I can't
She's like,
tell
"Where's
you.
your handicaps placard?"
I cannot stop it. I can't tell you how frustrating it was with my father not being able to find
Yeah,
accessible parking.
I agree.
And I would literally have to drop him off at the front, then go park, then come back and pick him up. And like he's sitting in the heat with his little walker. It was awful.
Yeah.
But there's another hot point in Lockhart
Oh, okay.
is the curbside pickup at HEB. There are so many of those spots.
And nobody's picking up.
And people, like, because they don't want, we have a small parking lot with a lot of, I would imagine they're like, what am I trying to say? Like the 100-year-old oak trees that are protected on the parking lot that you can't take down.
Right.
So the parking lot's very strange and like zigzaggy. So people park in those spots. And then when people need curbside,
They're full.
you know, everybody has that neighborhood discussion group and that thing is off the charts. People lose their minds. Like they're ready to go out to the street and have a fist fight. Like
I would join
"You
them.
don't
I would
have
help.
You'd be over there like, go, fight, 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 fight. Oh,
I'm an
man.
avid curbside user because I despise the grocery store.
Same.
So I would join in on that fight.
You know, I like going to the
Get the
grocery
hell
store.
away from my parking spot. I'm only going to be here for 15 minutes max.
I don't
Right.
like going to the grocery store at all.
Do they
Thank
still
you.
give you the
Thank
cookies
to my
when
love.
you do it? Like, do they give you a free cookie?
I have never once gotten a free cookie.
My nieces get free cookies every time they do curbside.
Are they Cocker Spaniels or what? I don't understand. Like, no.
They bring them like cookies from the bakery. Isn't that cute?
You got to show up with a kid. Colton.
Damn. Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the Plus stores
yeah.
that do
It's
it.
like you used to go to the bank with my dog and like they would send a little cookie.
But I'll be in HEB parking lot in the accessible parking area,
Right.
giving tenants the tickets to the folks that are abusing their parking privileges, and then I'll be shaking my finger at the curbside.
I want them to expand it to the pains in the asses that park in the bike lanes because they
Oh,
just
yeah. On
need to
South
run in
Congress.
somewhere to get something for a minute. Like, boo, there's 15-minute parking spots around town. Don't park in the bike lane because then that forces all the bikes to go out into
don't-
traffic, and that's when they get hit.
You don't want to get me started on the whole traffic situation and like how people drive and how people park. We'll be here all day. Like
It's a 25-minute show.
starting with like, please understand the size of your vehicle. Like you fit, go.
Right.
Like you have 3, 4, 5 feet on either side of your vehicle, go.
Right.
And they're like inching and inching. I'm like, go.
I feel a lot of rage comes from the inside of your vehicle.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Can you give a ticket to one of those self-driving cars?
If it parks in accessible parking, I suppose so.
That's-
Who pays it though?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Waymo. No, I'm just kidding.
They pay in Bitcoin.
There's too many of
It's
them.
not real money.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can check out the Awesome Monitor. You can go through the training, which apparently is more training than you need to actually own a handgun, I think. And you can go and give out tickets for accessible parking.
We don't need training to own a handgun.
That's
in
true. You
Texas.
just got to walk into Walmart and get you one.
Yeah, that's right. You can just walk in anywhere as long as you have a license. Wow.
Oh my God. Colton, what you got on the local chamber news?
You can join the Diversity Ethnic Chamber Alliance in partnership with the city's Economic Development Department at the 2nd Annual Small Business Summit on August 9th. Learn from experts in technical assistance, certification and procurement, access to capital, and advocacy. Admission is free for small business attendees. Sponsorship opportunities are also available. Visit decacentx.com.
How much is it?
Free, unless you want to sponsor.
Free.
It's free.
Wow.
Ooh, we need some echo on that.
Somebody take that board away from
I know,
her.
right? I'm all like,
I know they're all on one page now. So
and they're all just perfectly aligned. This is a big event, though. This coming up on August 9th. Huge event. Hundreds of businesses that show up for this every year. So make sure you make time, make room. Go to decacentx.com to learn more. What else you got?
you can also hear from our Health and Wellness Committee members at their upcoming webinar on August 12th at noon. Visit our calendar on our website to register now.
You know that we are the only chamber of commerce in the world that has a health and wellness committee.
What?
I
True
love
story.
that.
And if it's not, somebody call me out on it and show me somebody else that does.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then ask if they do a toy drive.
Ask them.
What
'Cause
does
they
that
don't.
say about us as a people, as an American culture?
That our chamber is better than everybody else.
Well, I just mean like,
Healthy,
no,
fit.
you're missing the point.
I know. But we started it because it was it was an issue near and dear to the LGBT community to have a focus on health and how healthcare workers and providers engage with our community very specifically. So that's why we went out of our way to do it. But we also produced a
Right.
music festival because we're just kind of that weird kind of chamber.
We're the cool kind.
Speaking of weird kind of chamber,
Yes.
another fantastic event. Arts Mixer. Weird. Keep Austin weird.
Yes.
We are working with KMFA Classical to bring you over 24 local arts nonprofits and learn more about the Chamber Arts Committee.
Wait, what? We have a health and wellness committee and an arts committee?
Wow.
I mean, if you're listening and you're not a member of this chamber, like there's something wrong with your brain.
Yeah. So come hang out with us at the Arts Mixer.
When is that again?
You can win tickets, so many door prizes. I forgot how many you gave away last time.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
And they were good ones. People,
Tickets to
I could hear
everything.
people screaming when they won them.
Yeah, tickets to everything.
Yeah.
Free parking, free event,
Yeah, it's a beautiful space. KMFA, August 15th.
free drinks, free snacks. We have tons of upcoming member events too. Check out our member calendar if you're looking for things to do this weekend. If you're a member and need help adding events to the calendar, email membership@austinlgbtchamber.com.
Well done. There's always a plethora of things to do. So you've learned a lot on today's show. You've learned that our friend, the Muskox, is moving to town. You've learned that Texas's food's fixing to get a whole heck of a lot better. And that you could issue traffic citations.
Yeah.
All in all, a good learning day today. As always, thank you so much. As always, thank you for joining us. If you want to become a member of the Chamber or find out more about our events, you can visit us at austinlgbtchamber.com. If you want to be a guest or a podcast sponsor, email us at info@austinlgbtchamber. Be sure to check out all of our past episodes of the show. Follow us and check out new episodes every Friday at noon, wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.